Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the last episode of Wisdom Wednesday at 8:05 p.m. Meanwhile, get your drinks ready, make yourself comfortable, and keep your eyes and ears open for our session tonight. A little bit of a ground rule for the speakers. If your speech does not adhere to the rules and regulations stated before, the organizer has the right to assist you down the stage. Next, I would like to make a few housekeeping announcements before we begin our session tonight. For the speakers, it will be appreciated if you can ensure that your microphone and camera are turned off until it is your turn. For the audience, we also appreciate it if you can leave appropriate comments on YouTube. Thank you. See y'all in a bit. Assalamu alaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the season finale of Wisdom Wednesday. The stage is your 2022. This series is brought to you by English Cultural Society Eclipse. I am Muhammad Shafiq bin Sadali, your fabulous and most dashing bestie for tonight. As you guys know, I'm an LG 243 student and in my second semester. Always honored to be here, and let's get started. Before we go straight to the stage that we've prepared for our speakers today, may I remind you of the background on the series we are having today. The keyword is, you guys know it, it's wisdom. In this series, we aim to provide a platform for UiTM students to spread wisdom and speak their hearts out. There are 3 episodes in this series, and each of them has its own twist. The speaker may speak in any language they would like to. It could be the Malay, English, Mandarin, French, or even Korean. But fret not, we'll be providing translation for their speeches. We've arrived at the last episode of Wisdom Wednesday. I'm a little bit sad that it's coming to an end. But let's focus on this final episode because there will be new perspectives. There might be a run out of frustration. There might be even a real global issues because it is the Wisdom Wednesday. I hope you guys are ready. Give us some thumbs up in the comment section down below. For this episode, the wisdom that the speakers will be sharing is based on the topic of technology. The term technology has always been around people's mouth. Not gonna lie, I can't live without my smartphone. With technology, we advance from an era to another. Let's picture Tesla, the infamous brand of electric cars. Years back, if you talk about cars that run solely on electricity, people are gonna say, shut up, you're bonkers, right? Technology really does wonders our life. Before we start, we would like to welcome Adelan Danish Bendaris to recite a dua so that we can start our night with blessings. The floor is yours.
A'udzubillahiminasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Allahumma innaka hulakul azim, innaka samiul alim, innaka ghafurur rahim, innaka rabbul arsyil azim, innaka barru jawadul karim. Ya Allah, Engkaulah yang mempunyai segala kepujian. Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kepujian. Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kesyukuran. Engkaulah yang memiliki segala pemerintahan. Di tangan Engkau segala kebajikan. Kepada Engkaulah kembali segala urusan. Allahumma ya karimu ya rahim. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami. Cucurilah rahmat dan rahimmu ke atas majlis Wisdom Wednesday, The Stage is Yours, episod 3 yang diadakan pada hari ini. Berkatilah ia dari awal hingga akhirnya. Kami juga memohon perlindungan daripadamu dari segala perkara yang boleh mencacat celakan majlis kami dan daripada segala perkara yang melalaikan kami dari berbuat taat kepadamu. Kepadamu juga kami serah segala urusan kami. Rabbana alaika tawakkalna wa ilaika anabna wa ilaikal masir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin, Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you. It's nice seeing you, Adelan. Moving on with our session tonight. Now that we've started our session tonight with blessings, make sure y'all are ready with your notes because I would like to welcome our very first speakers presenting Miss Radia Auni bin Rizan Welson from the Academy of Applied Language Study with her wisdom, technology, and stunted children development. The stage is yours.
Hi, am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, amazing. So, Assalamualaikum and a good evening, everyone that's tuning in. I hope everyone had a wonderful dinner earlier. If you haven't, feel free to munch on something during my speech. So, I'm Radia Auni binti Rizan also from the Academy of Language Studies, and today I'll be delivering a topic called Technology and Stunted Children Development. So, to give a brief explanation on stunted children development or growth, the World Health Organization, who has defined it as the impaired growth and the impact, growth, and development that children experience as a result from poor nutrition, repeated infection, and also insufficient chances to play and learn. So, how many times when you were growing up, you have been experienced being called pendek, or when you were at a family gathering, a makcik goes, let your child play with the phone some more. Later, he cannot talk, then you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, these everyday life scenarios are actually a common way, whether they realize it or not, that people avoid stunting among children. So in Malaysia itself, we have we have about 1 in 5 children that are affected by stunting. The National Health and Morbidity Survey in 2019 recorded a whopping 21.8% of stunted children under the age of 5 years old, which has increased from 2015's 17.7%. However, how is it that in this day and age, where Malaysia is already kicking off with the 5G internet technology and our technology is way better than it was compared to the previous decades, we are still facing the issues of stunted child growth, no matter their socioeconomic status. So there are actually three means of forms of technology that can contribute or help fight this issue. So that we have the food technology, water, and also our modern day gadgets. So we'll be kicking off with the first type of technology, which is food technology. So the food industry has pushed us through many years of decades. This is how we feed ourselves. Now, when you go into a supermarket, there's many options of food on the aisles: organic, no sugar, jug, processed, canned, anything that you can name off. However, these alterations to food presented by technology can greatly affect the nutrition our children get on a daily basis. With how occupied parents are these days in the modern world, opting for the fastest option is the way to go. So mostly this results in us feeding our child fast or junk food, which is not the best option, which then results into the children solely depending on this fast food technology. So one beep of a microwave or order through the phone and dinner is served. Why waste time plucking, cleaning, and cooking fresh produce when technology can give us a ready-made salad just by our doorsteps, right? So our biggest enemy in proper nutritional intake in Malaysia is the availability of fast food restaurants. So a survey done by Chong and his fellow researchers in 2019 actually found that there within a 1,000-meter radius, there is at least one fast food technology from an obese children. So with the increased frequency of unsecure nutrition and for our growing children, and we allow this risk of stunting, it's going at a very alarming rate, and we allow our children to consume unhealthy altered food by the technology we have today. So moving on, we have the technology of our waters. Malaysia's sewage system is really amazing these days. Water means everything to us. That one element keeps our life cycle going. According to surveys taken in 2015 by the World Health Organization or the UNICEF Joint Monitoring Program, roughly 92% of Malaysians have access to properly managed clean water, and 82% have access to sanitary sanitation facilities. So a clean water supply ensures clean food, clothes, and a household environment. Contaminated water can cause health issues like diarrhea, cholera, hepatitis A, which if a child is constantly exposed to, can greatly contribute to childhood stunted growth. So, as stated in an article published in 2008 by Black and his fellow researchers, in developing nations, children under the age of 3 have an average of 3 episodes of diarrhea every year. So each episode results in severe nutrition restriction, which is essential for children development. So Fazli Azri and his fellow researchers also in 2018 has found that in their study that 4.4% of Malaysian children under the age of 5 have experienced diarrhea, which was not much of a change than a previous survey done by the National Health and Morbidity Survey back in 2006, where children under the age of 3, about 4.5% has experienced diarrhea. So the technology of our clean waters has greatly improved the health of many children's lives in the past years. However, it is still inaccessible to many households, especially in the rural areas where stunting is more prevalent. So an ideal environment is one with clean waters as it helps combat these diseases, which in turn is the most ideal environment to help the stunting growth issue. So we have come to the final point, which is the technology of the gadgets we have today. So finally, the gadgets, the technology that we have for our gadgets greatly affects our children's psychosocial stimulation. We know how important playtime is for our children. It helps our children learn language, which in turn helps them communicate effectively. We can never deny how much technology has helped with our children's development. The interactive games they have, books and shows, and has shown a very great benefit helping us raise a generation that is growing faster than ever, smarter than ever. The problem with technology in stunting is when we allow it to raise our children instead of us, where they would lack psycho-social interactions, limiting their access to a good development. In an age where technology is blooming forevermore and everyone needs to have IT literacy to survive, the demand of this technology is higher than ever. So let's take the recent COVID-19 phenomenon going on. The use of smartphones and laptops is a need when online classes has started taking over, where everyone needed proper internet access to receive an education. So children's education is protected by law in Malaysia, which makes the attendance of these children in online class necessary. Even without COVID, parents have always used technology as a way to raise their children. So their screen time is at an all-time high. So Hazaliza and Q conducted a study on a group of 5 to 6-year-olds in 2018, and it was found on average that these children used their devices for about 284 minutes. Yes, 284 minutes to 5 to 6-year-olds, that is their screen time, which was double the amount compared to the 122 minutes as recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics, which can be very detrimental to their growth. So a good amount of parents use technology as a reward system for their children. But real life play, we cannot deny how real life play is what is best and is most accessible, especially to low-income families and facilities, and helps greatly to combat stunting, allowing our children to have proper real life interactions. So to conclude, the three main forms of technology that greatly affect the stunting in our children are the food, water, and modern day gadgets. So as much as technology has helped us with our day-to-day lives, remember that everything has both its pros and cons. When used properly, technology can help us combat the issue of stunting amongst our Malaysian children. The National Plan of Action for Nutrition 2015 to 2025 aims for only 11% of stunted children. And we are only 3 years away from the grand closing of this master plan developed to form a healthy generation of children. However, with limited access or misuse of these forms of technologies, we are back to square one in combating the issue. So as Matt Mullenweg once said, technology is best when it brings people together. So therefore, using the resources that we have to combat the ever-worrying issue of our children's stunted growth development should be more amplified, as healthy children will be the ones making our nation. The effects of childhood stunting during adulthood is irreversible, but for our future children, it can be highly preventable with the correct use of the technology that we have today. Thank you.
Wow, round of applause, everybody, to Miss Radia. That was an eye-opener to me. Amazing points. Food is a basic need, and when our food is not good to our body, that's definitely something to worry about, let alone it's being for children. Oh wait, water too is a basic human need. I agree that we have got to ensure that these are healthy enough, not only for our future leaders, but also for us humans in general. Let's keep things moderate, yeah, especially for the iPad kids. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. for tonight, as I would like to welcome the second speaker, Miss Nursham Nadira binti Shamsul Imran from Academy of Applied Language Studies, who will be speaking in Korean with Gisulgwa Inkane Guange, which means the relationship between technology and human. Excuse my Hangul pronunciation. This is my first time saying Korean words other than Juseyo. Anyway, the stage is yours.
여러분, 기술과 사람이라는 존재가 뭐가 다를까요? 뭐가 다른지 댓글로 맞춰보세요. 네, 안녕하세요. 저는 르샴스 나지라라고 합니다. 저는 UITM의 언어학부에서 English for Intercultural Communication 전공하고 있습니다. 오늘 제가 말하고 싶은 주제는 바로 기술과 인간의 관계. 이 제목은 2주차의 주제랑 관련 있긴 해요. 사람 그리고 인간이라는 말이 나오니까. 자, 우리 인간이 기술 때문에 진짜 잘 살고 있다고 하면 그거 맞는 거죠. 인정하시죠? 기술 때문에 우리에게 많은 게 달라졌어요. 그것도 좋은 걸. 기술 때문에 이제 소통도 너무 쉽게 할 수 있고 여러분들도 제가 이렇게 보는 것도 기술 덕분이죠. 자, 생각해봐요. 만약에 말이죠. 기계나 기술 없었으면 우리 생활은 이제 어떻게 됐을까요? 우리 지금은 어떻게 살고 있을까요? 우리 건강도 먹을 것도 교통 그리고 집도 못 지었을걸요? 기술 때문에 우리 진짜 좋게 편하게 살 수 있는 겁니다. 제가 다시 생각해보니까 제가 어릴 때 인터넷과 노트북 없었잖아요. 아이패드 같은 것도 없었어요. 제가 10살 때부터 페이스북이랑 인스타그램도 알게 됐어요. 근데 신기한 게 그 전에 어떻게 살았는지 기억이 안 나요. 인터넷 없이 뭐 하고 놀았는지 까먹었어요. 그 정도까지 임팩트가 큰 기술입니다. 우리에게 너무나 소중하고 사용과 좋은 점이 많은 컨셉이잖아요. 근데 어떻게 기술이 또 앞으로 이동할수록 인간이 한 발 뒤로 가는 거죠? 어떻게 사고 날 때마다 사람을 도와주는 것보다 핸드폰을 들고 찍은 게 먼저야. 구구구 부를 생각도 먼저가 아니라 찍어서 SNS에서 올리기가 더 중요하다고 생각하는 사람이 생각보다 많아요. 증거 때문에 찍힌다고 했는데 사고가 벌써 났어요. 백박스도 있고 CCTV도 있을 거 아닙니까? 찍어서 환자나 피해자한테 줄 생각도 없죠. 못 만났겠죠. 그래서 뭔 사용이죠? 그리고 또 이 아주 작은 화면으로 SNS를 보고 안 좋은 글과 댓글을 남기는 거. 얼굴 안 마주보고 말하는 거니까 이 기회를 잘못 쓰시는 분들에게 꼭 말하고 싶은 말이 있습니다. 상대방이 아니면 받는 사람의 표정과 반응이 못 보니까 아무것도 아니라고 생각하지 마세요. 겁쟁이처럼 상처가 될 수 있는 말들 하면 그분이 평생 오래 기억하실 거예요. 당신에게는 딱 어느 분에 남긴 댓글인데 그분에게는 절대 무의미한 기억이 될 수도 있어요. 겁쟁이처럼 잘못 없는 사람한테 마음을 아프게 하는 건 너무 유치하고 예의가 아니라고 생각합니다. 타임라인에서 만약에 마음에 안 드는 컨텐츠나 콜 보기 싫은 사람이 나타나면 그냥 안 볼 수도 있어요. 이렇게 하면 되고 차단할 수도 있고 너무하다고 생각한다면 뮤트 시킬 수도 있습니다. 모든 SNS에서 이 버튼들이 있을 겁니다. 여러분들의 선택입니다. 물론 우리가 사회적으로 관심을 줘야 하는 주제와 문제들 있겠죠. 범죄, 정치, 경제, 또 심각한 일들도 꼭 봐야죠. 근데 어떤 사람을 인생을 즐기고 있다면, 너무나 행복하게 살고 있다면, 그리고 아무한테 불편이 안 되는 행동을 하면 그냥 냅둬요. 말레이어로 하면은 가라따리 빠까리안 바이나 차카 외바이디암. 좋은 말이 없다면 아무 말 안 하는 게 더 좋아요. If you have nothing nice to say, say nothing. 우리 기술 얼마나 좋아졌는데 우리 그냥 보고 싶은 것만 보는 게 기본이죠. 누가 있고 뭐라고 했어요. 싫으면 그냥 안 보는 게 더 나아요. 저도 제가 좋아하지 않는 주제도 뮤트 시켰어요. 덕분에 제가 인생이 더 편하고 이제 관심 없는 일 안 봐도 되니까 SNS를 이용하는 게 더 좋아졌어요. 제가 오늘 했던 말들이 여러분들에게만 하는 말이 아닙니다. 저도 이런 실수 사람을 아프게 만드는 적이 있습니다. 이게 이제 다 커서 성숙한 어른이 됐으니 알게 됐어요. 사람들이 하는 말이 얼마나 큰 상처를 낼 수 있는지. 마지막으로 오늘의 포인트는 기술이 좋은 점이 진짜 많고 또 많아질 겁니다. 근데 우리 인간이 앞으로도 계속 이럴 거면 큰일 나요. 마음을 갖고 사는 사람으로서 또 다른 마음을 갖고 사는 분에게 많이 생각하시고 말하고 사세요. 말투는 어떤 사람마다 무거울 수도 있어요. 이 8개 개념을 기억하세요. 공감, 감정, 마음, 생각, 선택, 추리, 지능, 상식. 그래서 다시 제가 아까 물어본 질문이 기술과 사람이라는 존재가 뭐가 다를까요? 여러분, 기술과 사람은
Omo, Debak. No, Debak. Miss Norsham. Everybody, that's our second speaker of tonight. We are now living comfortably with the technology we have today. Without it, I wouldn't be here tonight. All of you would not be able to see these amazing speakers tonight. And undeniably and unfortunately, some of us are now a little less empathetic than we used to be. But it's not too late to start now. Let's be bigger, better person than this little thing called technology. Okay, we won't stop here, everyone. The stage would like to welcome the third speaker of this episode. Give it up for Mr. Harith Firajuddin bin Jeffrey from Faculty of Education. The stage is yours.
Assalamu alaikum and hello to everyone that is currently tuning in to the grand finale of Wisdom Wednesday. For my speech, the topic would be, are the iPhone's camera lenses outdated? But first, let's begin this speech with photography. Photography is an aspect that has been way too synonymous with smartphones these recent years. With new technology, we are now able to take wonderful pictures with our smartphones that can rival the quality captured by a DSLR camera. Photography has been way too important of a feature to the point where brands would compete on whose phone can take the best quality of images. One of the new features that smartphone brands often boast about when they release a new phone will be the size of pixels on the phone's camera lens. Today, a smartphone can have up to 108 megapixels of a lens in their camera setup. Almost all the brands adopt this technology, except one, Apple. This is the iPhone 13 Pro, the latest and greatest iPhone they have ever made. Yet, that is how they usually say about it. It has 3 camera lenses on the back, but all of them are 12 megapixels. Apple is one of the largest smartphone companies in the world, but why do they stick on using 12 MP as their camera lenses on their most prized asset? The answer to that will be explained in this speech. Whilst the iPhone stick with 12 MP as their camera lens, which is a technology that they have been clinging on since the release of the iPhone 6S way back in 2015, their competitors have adopted newer and fresher technology, which is the 108 megapixel lens. Not only their direct competitors such as Samsung, even budget-friendly brands such as Realme have introduced a 108 megapixel camera lens feature to their customers. Naturally, this question will arise. Why do iPhones still use 12 megapixels? One of the many reasons is the bigger pixel of a lens, bigger data file will be created. This is because with bigger pixels, more information will be recorded in the image. As a result, the size of the image will be larger, causing more memory of the smartphone to be used. To make matters worse, not all smartphones have SD card support. Therefore, when your memory is full, you have to sacrifice the moments that you have captured in the past. Now, that wouldn't be very nice, isn't it? Not only that, not every smartphone brand has the capability to create an excellent online storage to store your precious moments that you would hate to delete. But that will be another topic for another day. Let's focus on why Apple stick on 12 megapixels, shall we? Next, the image projected on the smartphone screen is usually shrunken down into a smaller size. As I said earlier, bigger lenses create bigger file size. At this point of time, there is no screen technology that enables its users to fully see an image taken with 108 MP. The image would usually be shrunken down into 12 megapixels at most. This is because Ultra HD, which is the pinnacle of image quality and resolution at this age of time, can only utilize around 8 to 9 MP. This feature of shrinking down an image is what we call as pixel binding. Lastly, more pixel does not create a better quality of an image. There are many factors that contribute to the creation of a quality image on a smartphone, but none of them is due to the amount of pixels the lenses have. Sure, more pixel means more information, but the quality of the image does not solely depend on that factor. What does affect the quality of an image are the smartphone's software capability to drastically improve the image, creating an effect on it to cause it to look more vibrant, as what Samsung always does on its pictures, or more realistic, in which Apple is the king of that game. Another factor would be the smartphone chipset. Better chipset would allow better performance for software editing on an image. This part of a smartphone is also ruled by Apple, with its series of Bionic chips being the fastest and the most efficient chipset to ever be created. In conclusion, Apple was not being stingy for not upgrading their lenses to higher pixels. They were just being smart. Why get an upgrade that users won't be able to fully utilize? However, rest assured, as rumors have been circling that Apple is considering an upgrade on its camera lens on the next iPhone. Probably will come out either this year or probably will be next year's iPhone. Finally, if the current iPhone, with its often criticized camera setup, can get a good quality image, imagine if it finally levels the field with its competitors. As a fan of the smartphone technology, this news is definitely exciting. Well, that's all from me for this speech. I hope you guys get a good information from what I've just said just now. And yeah, thank you for listening. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harris, as that was very insightful. Let's give way to the Isha Azan. We will be back in a bit. Thank you. All right, back to the very insightful content from Mr. Harith. I did not know that all the three cameras have the same size of megapixels. That was refreshing. I have always heard people say iPhone cameras are the better, and some say it is the best. This sharing might have changed some of y'all's mind. Woo! All right, keep up the energy, everyone, as we would like to invite our fourth speaker of tonight, Miss Putri Balkis Binti Kamal from the Academy of Applied Language Studies. She will be talking about human cloning. The stage is yours.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Alright. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Putri Balkis Binti Kamal. I am from the Academy of Language Studies and currently I'm in my semester 5. So you probably have seen me in the first episode of Wisdom Wednesday where I talk about deforestation. Why is it a problem? So here I'm again today to talk about human cloning. So this topic is a very controversial one because some part of the world are supporting it while some other parts of the world are not supporting it. They just really hate it. Okay, let me tell you what is the meaning of human cloning. So human cloning is a creation of a genetically identical copy of human. So it's like the reproduction of a new human. It's not identical. It's usually referred to the term of artificial human cloning, the reproduction of human cells and tissues. It's not like the natural conception and the delivery of identical twins. Right. So cloning embryos actually have been possible for several now. Yet so far as I live, I have never witnessed and no one has ever successfully made a clone baby. Well, actually on 27 December 2003, Bridget Boisler actually held a press conference in Florida and she announces the first birth of the human clone baby. A year later, Boisler directs the company who is set up by Iranian religious sector. And then she offered that there is no proof the clone baby named Eve, the clone baby was actually called Eve, the baby was not exist, let alone that she is a clone. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, now let me take you back about 25 years ago on 25 December 1997. Okay, on this day, the first mammal of an animal, the clone was created, and it's called Dolly. This is Dolly. She died on 14 December 2003, 14 February 2003 due to incurable lung tumor. So 1997 to 2003, about 5 to 6 years. Her lifespan is about 5 to 6 years, so it's not long. And then on actually the Advanced Cell Technology, ACT, in Worcester, Massachusetts, actually conducted a research on the first embryo in 2001, which then led to Bridget Boisler announcing the first birth of the human baby. Now, you probably think, how does a sheep can be cloned? This is how. Okay, so a nucleus donor from a Finn Dorset ewe, which is a sheep bred, and then a nucleus donor from adult Scottish Blackfist ewe. The nucleus from this breed of sheep was mixed, and then the embryo of the nucleus was implemented to a surrogate mother, which is a Blackfist ewe, and then you have Dolly, the clone sheep. Okay, so you probably think, why am I taking side? Which side am I taking right now? I disagree on this. Let me tell you why. We have two issues that I would like to talk about here. Number one, human cloning violate the nature of human reproduction and are considered unethical. Why? Because there have been some concern about the natural reproduction of human. Okay, I would like to quote this from the Universal Declaration on the Human Genome and Human Rights, UDHR, in 1997. It states that UDHR recognizes that genetics research could have vast potential in improving the health of humankind, but it also has the need to respect the human dignity, human rights, and also freedom of reproduction of human, naturally, not being cloned or not being by the minds. Okay, so Article 11 in that declaration states that practices which are contrary to human dignity, freedom, and human rights, such as human cloning, shall not be permitted. All right, issue number 2 that I would like to talk about is failure and serious genetic problems. Okay, before anything serious happen to human, science actually usually involves animals, right? So cloning was first tested on animals. So when this cloning was first tested on animals, 95 to 97% cloning attempts on animals ended in failure. So these are known risks to mother's life and could possibly be a big potential to serious birth defects to the babies, like babies born with blindness, babies without hands, without legs, nose, you name it, possible birth defects. So Ian Wilmot and Rudolph Janis, scientists from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, have agreed that these problems may occur possibly because of the nuclear DNA programming. So when someone, let's say I'm a scientist, I want to make a clone of a baby, or let's say a cat, I have to make sure during the nuclear DNA programming, everything has to go smoothly. Everything has to be perfect. So any slight mistake, just one mistake, abnormality can result to not much, just 30,000 different genes. 30,000 different genes, right? It's not that much. Okay. So in my opinion, the goal of technology is to make the world a better place, to make everyone's lives easier. So same goes as, research and development in science. So that's why we have technology and science together. But and also the goal of science, research and development is to relieve people's life. And the challenge is to guarantee people throughout the world equitable access to the health services that can do so. So if we put cloning in the context of the interplay of public and private sectors, and also the enormous financial issues, we are facing a major problem, health problem, and justice. So it really depends on us, on what matter, and the technology. It really depends on us, what our mind thinks, the mindset of us, what context are we putting a matter on. That is all for me. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good night, everyone.
Amazing topic, everyone. In my opinion, the word cloning really caught my attention. It's like Kagebunshi no Jutsu in Naruto. But anyway, that was a sharing I did not see coming for today. So you're telling me whatever happened in the movies and Naruto is happening in real life? Is this good or bad impact on the technology? You have listened to Miss Balkis, so it is for you to think about. Thank you so much for the new information, Miss Balkis. Oh boy, this is getting interesting. What do you guys think of the topic so far? I think every speakers have speak their mind amazingly, but hold your horses as we have an interesting speaker for tonight. The fifth speaker, Mr. Zakaria Aydin Drachman from Academy of Applied Language Study, currently pursuing his doctorate in philosophy. He will be talking about Techno Lives. The stage is yours.
Right, so just to check, MC, am I audible?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, to the MC, Mr. Shafiq, for the introduction just now. All right, so Assalamualaikum. My name is Zachariah, a PhD student of Academy Pengajian Bahasa, and I'm going to talk about techno lives. So you see, ponder upon this question first, ladies and gentlemen, fellow viewers. Can technology replace humanity? Think about that first. We will address it later on. So you see, when we're talking about technology, it is important for us to know what exactly is technology. I have no intentions in being like Chatur from Three Idiots in providing a full academic textbook level definition. So in fact, technology is anything that makes our lives simpler, that makes a task simpler, or that enhances a task. It can be something as simple as a zipper on my hoodie here. See, going up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, technology. So look around you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, look around you and see on all the technological applications that you have. So if I were to look all around me right now, if I need to look, to have a look at myself, and I don't want to go to a life-size mirror that is presumably in the next room, I got this over here, all right? A compact mirror. Or if I need to consume something that has vitamins and energy, I have this one itself, technology. Or if you need a ball to release stress, okay? So what did humanity do? They came up with a stress ball, okay? Technology. So technology is all around us. It goes beyond just smartphones and computers. It's not just anything that is electronic in nature. But however, what makes technology interesting is just like humanity, all right, just like humanity, technology evolves, okay? Technology evolves, people. I know you've probably heard that, you probably have had enough of someone from my generation saying that, during my time, pada masa I dulu, etc., but I'm going to go across it anyway. I was born in 1990. I have had the experience of having my first cell phone being the Nokia 3310, and then shifting to a Motorola flip phone. That was a thing back in the day. I remember the most advanced phone when I was back in high school was the Nokia N-Gage. It was humongous. It was huge. Even if you were to carry it to school, the teachers can see it from a mile away because it was so huge in your pocket. Eventually, kena rampas. So yes. And then from there, I went, I used, I think it was the Sony Ericsson, then to a BlackBerry, Sony Xperia, and now I'm using this little boy right now, an iPhone, okay? And I do agree with the previous speaker. I really do think that they need to make some improvements to the camera lenses. So yes, but that one would be cell phones, okay? Then we're talking about the internet, or better yet, let's talk about the most in thing right now, social media. My first social media platform would be this thing known as MySpace. And then Friendster. I remember sending testimonies to my other friends. And the circle was relatively small. Even though we had MySpace, we had Friendster, it was still quite difficult for us to know on what was going on across the globe. And then, as time passed on, MySpace, Friendster became irrelevant. Then came Facebook. I accidentally banged my hand on the table, it hurts. Then came Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Social media has evolved, and to a certain extent, it has changed our lives. Is it for the better? Or just like our previous speaker just now, from Ms. Shams, is it for the worse? We don't know. It depends on you, people. It depends on you as the user. And technology evolves rather quickly. So what I'm trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen, fellow viewers, do not be afraid to embrace change. Don't be afraid to embrace change at all. You see, and I mean, it's not too long ago, a couple of years ago, when we're talking about the world, okay? Most companies just a couple of years ago would say that if you want to work, you got to be there at the office. When you want to register your attendance, you got to be there at the office. When we want to learn, you got to be there in the classroom. Then what happened, people? What happened? COVID-19 happened. I did not bang my hand this time. Yeah. COVID-19 happened, forcing all of us to go virtual, to go online. A lot of the things that were considered to be taboo or unspeakable back in the day, not just back in the day, a couple of years ago, became possible. People started working from home. Businesses went fully online. Even as most of you are experiencing right now, classes became online. Some of us liked it, some of us didn't. But hey, it is what it is. But eventually, quoting from my favorite movie, all is well. And all will continue to be well if we continue to embrace technology to its fullest potential. Of course, where classes are concerned, we would want to go back to campus, face-to-face. Inshallah, that might happen soon. We don't know, but I'm praying for it. But however, don't be surprised if essence of technology is still there. Don't be surprised if rather than performing a 5-minute presentation in class, you have to submit a recording. Don't be surprised if for future, meetings, clubs, Eclipse, for example, when you want to do a meeting, you can just do it via Google Meet, via Zoom. It's just like that. Of course, yes, there are some out there, some companies that still claiming that, oh, you have to be there, you have to be at work and all. But there will always be people with a backdated way of thinking and so on. But hey, what to do? It is what it is. So what's going to happen in the future? I would say that technology in our era is pretty advanced. Okay, living the child within me, I'm a Transformers toy collector. Okay, I collect Transformers toys, just like this one right here. And just earlier this year, a Transformer toy came out for Optimus Prime, known as a RoboSen, where users we no longer have to manually transform them. Instead, just by voice activation, it transforms on its own. So of course, insert conspiracy theories for a future robot generation that will wipe all of humanities. People will always have skepticism when we're talking about technology. And it's normal. Sometimes embracing change can be scary. Sometimes. But we don't know, okay? We don't know whether the change will be for the good or for the bad. I would say it's for the good. We don't know how social media would change in the future. During my time, all of us thought that MySpace would be there forever. Friendster is eternal. Then what happened? What's going to happen to Facebook in the future? We don't know. What's going to happen to TikTok? But what's going to happen to Twitter? So far as we know, it's musky. So yeah, so we have no idea. So now I'm going back to my initial question at the beginning. Can computer replace humans? I would say no. I would say no. All right? No. If we choose not to be. If we choose not to be. I'm referring to all of us here as we are the masters, and these things over here, all right, they belong to us. We control them. We control the narrative. But it's difficult to say, all of us, we're all sprouting that technology should not replace us. But when I go out there, when we go out, when I go to have a meal and so on, people are glued to their phones. How many of you, when you're in class and you're in a meeting, your WhatsApp voice notification hits up, all for you to look down and reply LOL, and it has nothing to do with the meeting or in the class. If that happens, ladies and gentlemen, and you are susceptible to that, then to a certain extent, your technology, your gadget pretty much has an iron fist over you. So what's going to happen in the future? We don't know. Wallahu alam. Is it for the good? Is it for the bad? It is up to us. So will technology live on? Will techno lives? Or will technology take over our lives? As in, will Will it be techno lives? It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
OMG, that was noteworthy. Thank you so much, Mr. Zachariah, as that output will be good input for everyone. Can technology replace humanity? That is the question we might end up thinking about tonight. Let all of us pull all-nighter today to ponder upon this question, especially for me. I can't think of any answer for this because I think both are important. Without technology, there will be no humanity. With no humanity, who is going to use the technology then? I think it just depends on us on how we react to this change. Embrace it or let it brace us. All right. For our second last speaker of tonight, she will be laying out her perspective in regards to computers cannot be compared to humans' brain. The stage would like to welcome Miss Nur Intan Maizura binti Abdul Rahim from Academy of Applied Language Studies. The stage is yours.
Hello, I just would like to ask if the MC can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening to all of my viewers, to all of the viewers. I am Nur Intan Maizura binti Abdurrahim from APB Yaitam Shalam, Academy Pengajian Bahasa. So I will be talking about a subtopic in technology. It's nothing serious, it's nothing solemn, it's just a casual topic. So basically my topic is computers cannot be compared to human brains. So technology is an important thing in human culture. With the evolution of technology, it has paved the way for humans to improve and evolve. From sending handwritten letters to text messages, from using smoke as a form of long-distance communication, to using video calls, and many more. Technology has helped us a great deal with making it easier for us to solve problems. For instance, a lot use the computer in order to help them in processing and gaining new information. However, even though computers are very helpful in solving problems, it is nowhere near compared to human brains. As Naif Al-Rodan once said, the human brain uses much less energy than a computer, yet it is infinitely more complex and intricate. So before that, I would like to talk about the similarities between computer and human brains. So ultimately, both computer and human brains have a lot of similarities. Both of them are used for information or memory storage. They can both process information, and they both is used to execute tasks. Computers and human brains are good at solving problems by doing calculations. However, even though the computer can process information more accurately, like they can multitask easier than us, however, the human brain is still better. This is because, first of all, the human brain is far more complex than a computer. This is because our brain can digest thoughts, feelings, and creativity, while the computer can only be programmed to be fixed. Feelings and emotions are very complex that even we humans have problems processing it as some of our feelings might be mixed. Like on one occasion, you could be feeling sad and frustrated. We can't really categorize feelings as only in one category. Because of that, it makes it hard for computer to process it. Next, the learning capacity. The learning capacity. So basically, a computer can never learn by itself. Their learning capacity are limited. Us humans need to keep inputting new information into the computer, while the human brain can process new information by itself. The human brain learns through external stimuli. For example, if we go to a new unfamiliar place, what we touch, what we taste, what we see are all new information that our brain will process and store. Meanwhile, computers can only gain new knowledge once we've inputted the knowledge into them. Whatever computers know are basically what we humans already know. Lastly, flexibility. Computers can neither make judgments on what they are learning nor disagree with new materials. They must accept into their memory what it's being programmed into them. Try and error is a common practice for humans to experiment things. We try one way to see if we will get a solution, and if it doesn't work, we will try another way. Computers aren't flexible enough to think of different ways for a solution by itself. Even if they can think of different ways, the ways that they can think of, those are basically the information that we've inputted into them. So like everything that is found in a computer is based on what the human brain has acquired through experience. There's a lot more on what makes human brains far superior than computers. However, these are all I'm able to add. So thank you for lending your ears and time for my short speech. Okay, all right, thank you. Goodbye.
What a speech, everybody. Very good presentation about how computers cannot be compared to human brains. I have to say, what a diamond level wisdom she presented. Get it, Intan? Diamond? Never mind. But I agree, like that song, but I'm only human. Okay, let's not go there. As much as we have think that computers are way more advanced than our brains, it cannot cater to what we humans have. Artificial intelligence, or AI, have been developed for years, but not much has come close to a human and the human's feelings. Thank you, Ms. Intan, for the thorough explanation on the topic. All right, moving on to the last speaker of tonight, who will be laying out her perspective with a story of QWERTY. Welcoming our last speaker, Ms. Nakibah binti Nur Azan from Academy of Applied Language Studies. The stage is yours. Uh-oh, the speaker is having a minor technical difficulty, but worry not, because the technical team is on it to get the speaker get back on track. While we wait for the speaker, how about we learn more about QWERTY? To put it in a simple word, it's a keyboard. Keyboard, you know, the one you type with, the one on your laptop, the one on your, we got wireless and all that, but I think, but what I'm curious about is, can a QWERTY be identified as a typewriter? What did you guys think? We'll find out about it in a short while. While we wait, let's look at our keyboard. I have this keyboard of mine. It's a wireless keyboard, and it's my favorite color. It's pink. I like it because it's like a typewriter. It's got that pop-up buttons, you know. So when keyboards, people have their own preference, right? We have those who like wireless. We have those who like keyboard that been wired, right? So I like my keyboard wireless, but I still can't figure out what's a QWERTY is, you know. So what you guys think? They are still fixing the problem at the moment. I have another thing that I'm curious about. What did you guys think? What did you guys think about co-living space? Okay, we are talking about co-living space. We're not talking about keyboard anymore. We are talking about co-living space. What do you think about co-living space? To those who don't know what a co-living space is, it's basically a bilik sewa lah. It's a bilik sewa, but they put it a grand name for it, a fancy name for it. So co-living space. There's a few co-living agencies that pop up into my TikTok FYP, and I'm really curious how it feels. to live in a space just for yourself. Oh my God, all the time for yourself, all the space for yourself, all of it for yourself. Oh, that must be so peaceful. As a college student, think about it. Sounds nice, but sometimes putting up with roommates, you cannot. All right. Looks like Miss Nakiba is having trouble with the connection, and we are sorry. We apologize for Miss Nakiba for not being able to do her speech for tonight. But all in all, it's a very good. We might not be able to see her anytime soon because of the time. We are running out of time for the session for tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at the end of the session for tonight. Thank you so much, Miss Nakiba, Miss Radia, Miss Nursham, Mr. Harith, Miss Nakiba, Miss Balkis, sorry, Mr. Zakaria, and Miss Intan for your mindful wisdom. Domo arigato. Domo arigato. Nomu nomu kamsahamnida. I hope the wisdom that our speakers have bestowed to us today would leave an impact on you guys. It is most definitely for me. With that being said, we've reached the end of our Wisdom Wednesday series. We will officially end this series by welcoming Mr. Muhammad Aizat Azhari as our officiator for the closing ceremony tonight. The floor is yours, Mr. Aizat.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Can you hear me? Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shafiq. First of all, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and hi everyone. Thank you for joining us, whether you are here in the Zoom meeting, or whether you are watching us from via YouTube live, especially the lecturers, students, from LG 243 or, students UITM in general. I didn't know that we invited one PhD student, Mr. Zach, as one of the speakers tonight, but the project manager told me that we have a special guest, we have a special guest speaker, and I was wondering at first, and then, you can say, I was pleasantly surprised. All right, so first of all, Alhamdulillah, we have finally reached the finale. So this is the final episode for WW Wisdom Wednesday. The stage is yours. There are 3 episodes in total. For those of you who are new, to the program, this is our first season. Hopefully there will be more to come in the future. Hopefully we can do this, consistently. With 3 different themes for each episode. Altogether we manage to attract, to manage to have 17 speakers, who passionately and professionally deliver the speeches in various topics. And I'm sure there are more also out there who would like to join us, in the next season. So as one of the lecturer advisors, I'm very pleased with the program committee and also those who have been involved with the program, that whether directly or indirectly, to make who make this program a success. Because of your hard work, because of your consistency, despite your busy schedule, you still manage, to organize, this program. We are also happy that this program managed to achieve, its intended goal. Our main goal is actually to attract UITM students, particularly LG 243, to be brave, to come forward, to express their thoughts and opinions, on a variety of topics in this intellectual discourse. You saw all the speakers, they were very passionate, they were very persuasive. Yeah, so it's not easy, especially to those speakers, trust me, but you did it, to those 17 speakers, congratulations again, except for Mr. Zach, because this is nothing to him. Yeah, so you also, so basically this is one of the platforms, that we want the students to participate. whether you are a part of the committee team or whether you are, the speakers or whether you are the MC, this is something that we want, everyone to take part of. We want everyone, to participate, to try something new, to expose yourself, to read, to read a lot, to do things that you've never thought of doing before, because this, at the end of the day, this is all going to benefit you. As I mentioned to my students, time and again, you need to, break away from the norms, because, the syndrome of our UiTM students, not UiTM students, students in IPTAs in general, right? The 3K syndrome, students, if everything is done physically, they always go to 3Ks, right? They go to class, they always go to canteen or cafe, and then they go back to katil. All right. So this is something that we want you to do, on your free time, participate again, do something new, because this will, and at the end of the day, this will benefit you, especially when you go for your internship. I'm sure we have seniors, our semester 6 students with us tonight. I'm sure they can attest to what I just said. Yeah. So we want to make this, hopefully, what is our future planning? So hopefully we are, we hope that, this program, can be made a tradition, for Eclipse, that, and this will be improved and expanded in the future. Perhaps we will have, participations from, other faculties. In fact, we have we have one, right, participant from the Faculty of Education, and hopefully in the future we can have also participants, from our adik-adik from LG 120, who are doing their diplomas in applied of language studies. Basically they are in Pasir Gudang and also in Malacca campuses. Some even told me that, because APB, we have made some MOUs with other universities. Perhaps we can also, advertise, this program in the future, and we can even ask, we can even attract participants from other universities, not only inside of Malaysia, but outside also, right? Hopefully, next season, we can do this physically in UiTM, where everyone can, can meet up, can sit together in the auditorium, maybe, and we can even have a live music performance. We have so many talented students, especially in LG 243, basically who can, participate. All right, so as the saying goes, every beginning, has an end, and now the program has come to its close. This is the finale of the first season. We will see you again in our next season, hopefully in the next semester. Once again, thank you everyone, for making time to join this program. We truly appreciate it. Also congratulations to everyone, who have been here from day one, from the project manager, the committee members, even the MC, and also to our 17 speakers, those who have also been with us, who have helped, to make this program a success, indirectly also. Thank you very much. Domo arigato. See you again next season. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum. Back to you, MC.
Thank you so much for the heartwarming speech. I got something for you guys. Thank you so much. I'm still sad it is really coming to an end. Totally did not prepare for this separation. This stage personally had been a blast to me, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Let's meet again in the future. Do visit our Instagram at Eclipse of EIC for any upcoming events. It'll be fun, like the English saying, the more the merrier, right? Come join us so we can have fun together. Before we end this session, I would like to remind you guys to fill in the attendance form in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will end this series with UiTM di Hatiku. Thank you. See you all again in the future.